A couple of days ago, Cornel West did an hour-long interview with Roland Martin. For those of you in the audience who don't know who Roland Martin is, he's basically a black reporter, journalist, political commentator. Me personally, I don't like Roland Martin that much. There are some things that he does that I appreciate. He does a lot of networking with black people, people of color, to promote their voices, promote their businesses. I appreciate that. As far as people who are in the mainstream media bubble, the corporate media bubble, and Roland Martin, even though now he hosts a show on YouTube, he is in that mold. Out of all those people, he talks about black issues more than most, so I guess that's a good thing. But really, I draw the line there, and then after that, a bunch of criticism for Roland Martin, because when it comes to his politics and his policies, he's just very much a neoliberal. He was a big Hillary Clinton supporter. He endorsed Hillary Clinton, campaigned for Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders in 2016. His show is always full of Hillary Clinton surrogates like Zerlina Maxwell from MSNBC and a bunch of people who he likes to get together and bash Bernie Sanders, smear Bernie Sanders. He was smearing him throughout the entire primary. And the smears of Bernie tell a lot about somebody's character, especially when they were doing it, if it was back in the 2016 primary or in the 2020 primary. When they were doing it, it wasn't because they personally disliked Bernie Sanders. It was the fact that he was leading this left-wing, this populist grassroots movement to upend the status quo and bring about radical policy change. So that's what their huge gripe with Bernie Sanders has always been. Roland Martin was always one of those people smearing the left, smearing the policies of the actual left. Huge supporter of Barack Obama. So that's who Roland Martin is. And so Cornel West sat down, did an hour interview with him, and about halfway through, he was asked a question about his critiques from the Obama administration. And for those of you who weren't paying attention to politics or following politics closely back then, Cornel West was one of the biggest, fiercest, and harshest critics of Barack Obama and his administration that you could find anywhere. So this has always been a point of controversy in the Democratic Party with Cornel West, and really among a lot of black people in the Democratic Party too, because they view his scathing critiques of Barack Obama as correct and accurate as they are. They view that as sacrilege, and it turns a lot of people off. So he addressed his views of those criticisms in hindsight 3 years after Obama has left the White House. And so it's about a 4.5 minute long clip. It's important, and the reason why I'm showing you the whole thing is because there's important context to his answer in the whole thing, so I can't cut out any piece of it. So I'll show you the clip and then I'll come back and break it down.
On our YouTube channel, on other channels. And there have been a number of people who said, I hear you, Dr. West, but I can't get over what you did to Obama. Mm. And he's been gone now for 3 years out of the presidency. And you and I had a previous conversation about that, where we had a very honest dialogue where I stated where I thought you made missteps. As you reflect on that, as you reflect on how a lot of black folks who really loved you and respected you, they turned away. How have you thought about that and played that through your mind in the last 3 years since he left the White House?
Well, I mean, one, as you know, for me to do over 65 events for Brother Barack Obama for free from to Ohio in 2008, and then support him again in 2012, I would say, well, I am going to speak the truths inside of my soul in regard to any head of the American empire. That my critique of the system is different than a critique of just the person. I've never been obsessed with just the individuals. I've always been obsessed with the injustice in the system as a whole. So when they say to me, oh, Brother West, you were hating on Obama. No, I hated his relation to Wall Street when he bailed out Wall Street and didn't bail out the homeowners, and 58% of the black middle class lost their homes. Oh, you hate Obama? No, I hated him dropping drones in Libya, in Yemen, in Somalia, in Afghanistan. 563 of them, over 4,000 people killed, many innocent ones. I'm a Christian. Every baby got the same value. I don't care what color they are. So I got to bear witness to that truth. Now, the symbolic significance of Obama, I never denied. He is historically unprecedented. He's brilliant. He's poised. He's subtle. He got a magnificent family. He and Sister Michelle have done a wonderful, wonderful job with their two blessed daughters. But that doesn't mean I don't critique the system. He was head of the U.S. empire, tied to Wall Street, tied to drones. So just like Martin had to come out with a critique of Vietnam, just like Martin had to come out with a critique of wealth inequality and Wall Street greed, why is it that the Wall Street criminals get away, but those who commit crimes in the hood go straight to jail? I had to raise my voice. And I went at Obama tough because my expectations were high. Therefore, my disappointment was deep. And so in that sense, I would say to many of the young brothers and sisters, whoever they are, and they don't have to still agree with me or whatever, but as they look back, do they not admit that when it came to Obama speaking to issues, even of white supremacy? You remember when the black leaders came out of the White House in March of 2009 talking about, well, there's no such thing as the black agenda anymore because Obama said he's not president of black people. He's only president of America. And therefore,
no, I remember, and I disagree vehemently. I disagree vehemently.
And I said explicitly right there in Ebony magazine, that makes me want to vomit. We ain't been a black people for all these years and get a black president, and all of a sudden we don't have a black agenda anymore. No, something is wrong. That's a Keith Sweat moment. Something just ain't right, brother. something just ain't right. Now, I had to raise my voice and say that, but it's true that it was some of the language that I used upset some folk. But when it comes to me speaking what's inside of my soul, brother, I'm going to be like Al Green. I just got to get it out no matter what it sounds like. And I'm sorry sometimes I want to be accountable, but in the end, it ain't about hating Obama. It's about hating deeds. See, I believe in hating the sin and trying to always love the sinner. And I've never talked about him personally in terms of his character. I've talked about his conformity, his complacency, and sometimes his cowardliness. People don't want to hear that, but everybody got cowardliness. I got it. I know you probably got a little bit. He got it too. We need to call it out.
All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is a point he made at the beginning of his answer, which I don't really agree with, where he talks about how he campaigned for Barack Obama in 2008 and in 2012. If you were tricked into believing Barack Obama was going to actually do some lefty progressive policies the first time he was running for office, you could be excused. But after he was in office for 4 years and it was crystal clear to everyone that he's just going to be the standard neoliberal establishment politician, I have no idea why a genuine lefty like Cornel West was out there campaigning for Barack Obama. Actually, I do know. It's the same reason why he's still going to vote for Joe Biden. He has this, he's bought into this lesser of two evils mindset that, and I'm sure back then in 2012, after we already knew how terrible Barack Obama's administration was going to be, he bought into the existential threat of Mitt Romney, because at the time everybody was Mitt Romney was as big a threat to the democracy as everybody's making Donald Trump out to be now. So, like a lot of people in the Democratic Party who weren't happy with Barack Obama in 2012 for bailing out Wall Street and letting them kick 5 million families out of their home at the height of the Great Recession, people weren't happy with that. People weren't happy with the fact that Barack Obama continued all of the wars that the Bush administration started, like in Iraq and Afghanistan, and expanded those wars, expanded the drone wars, expanded the massive wars. People weren't happy with Barack Obama in 2012. People on the left, like Cornel West, but they ended up voting for him because they fell for the lesser of two evils nonsense. And then, what do you know? The Democrats pulled the same shit in 2016. Hillary Clinton, she's horrible. She's a neoliberal. She's a warmonger. She's a war criminal. But the other guys are worse, so you got to vote for them. Cornel West, I'm sure he came out and voted for Hillary Clinton. He's gonna come out and vote for Joe Biden. So I don't agree with him on that part. But the rest of his answer was spot on. I think he did a great job of explaining that his criticisms of Barack Obama, they weren't petty personal attacks, and it wasn't anything like that. They were just legitimate, real policy grievances that he had with Barack Obama. And still, for a lot of people, those things are off limits. You're not allowed to criticize Barack Obama at all. And it's silly, it's ridiculous, because like Cornel West points out in his answer, he did a whole bunch of terrible shit. Like I mentioned, the Wall Street bailouts, giving blank checks, trillions of dollars to the people who crashed the economy, and then leaving everybody else high and dry, didn't bail out the people. That's a problem. That's worth criticism. The drone wars. His own CIA admitted 90% of the time they were droning people in the Middle East. They were killing innocent civilians. They weren't hitting terrorist targets or anything like that. They were killing innocent civilians. That's something worth criticism. And it doesn't matter if Barack Obama is black. He doesn't get a pass for doing all these horrendous neoliberal, imperialistic policies. Like I said, a lot of this answer was directed to the people in the black community who viciously went after Cornel West because he criticized Barack Obama. A lot of those people were so fervent in their defense of Barack Obama because they're the types who are big on identity politics, like Roland Martin here. And that's above everything else. That's all they talk about. That's all they focus about. And so Cornel West makes a great point to those people. Even now, you have to admit, 3 years after Obama left office, you have to be honest with yourself and admit that on the issue that you claim is most important to you, identity politics and black issues and stuff like that, Barack Obama failed. And it's not up for debate. He failed you miserably. Barack Obama famously came out and said, oh, he's not the president of black people. He's the president of America. And he's made several comments where he doesn't align himself with or identify with the black community. He just tries to do the fake unity. Barack Obama was basically saying all lives matter throughout his presidency. He did not put any type of emphasis or focus on black issues, which are legitimate issues. I believe that a broader systemic approach to economic and domestic policies would improve the lives of millions of people, and that would include millions of black people. So that's where I put my focus. But there is a case to be made at certain times that we should actually be focusing on improving the lives of black people because they have it worse in this country. So Barack Obama didn't do any of that. And that's what these identity politic loving black people who defended him claim to care most about. He didn't invest in black communities. He didn't raise the voices of black intellectuals and black leaders and black scientists and things. He didn't do that. He didn't do anything to reduce the police state and rein in the out of control, incredibly racist police departments across the country. He didn't do that. In fact, he propped them up. He bolstered these out of control, lawless police departments across the country by giving them millions and millions of dollars, probably billions of dollars in military equipment. The same military equipment that they're using on black and brown people protesting police brutality right now. Barack Obama didn't do anything to combat police brutality in this country and the killing of unarmed black people by the police and by racist vigilantes. He did nothing to curb that. So, and like I said, you can make an argument that he made it worse by propping up the police, not investigating them, and giving them billions of dollars in military equipment. So for the people who had the most scathing critiques and who were most turned off by Cornel West's criticisms of Barack Obama, even they have to admit, if they're being honest, he didn't do a goddamn thing for them. And I think that's an important point to make. It's an incredibly important point to make. Because, I mean, obviously I believe that the criticism of his economic policies and his other domestic policies are warranted. But like I said, these people who are obsessed with identity politics and black issues, he didn't even do anything for you, and you're still out here defending him tooth and nail. So I can't give Cornel West enough credit for the way he made that point, because he made it in a extremely intelligent way that's just impossible to refute. So I think this was a great answer from Cornel West, one of the few people who actually has integrity and is willing to speak truth to power, no matter who it offends, no matter who gets mad at him. And I greatly appreciate that about Cornel West. That's why, one of the many, many reasons why he's one of my favorite intellectuals, because he takes it beyond just the theoretical conversations about what policies might be good or what might work best and improve the most lives. He takes it beyond that, and of course he makes those points in the policies that he supports and things like that. But he also makes one of the only people I know to make the point of criticizing a lot of the indifference and acceptance of the status quo that a lot of people have, and lack of integrity, and unwillingness to actually speak truth to power and say what's actually happening in this country. So credit to Cornel West for this interview. It was great. You guys should go watch the whole thing.